Hello, baseball fans. King Ikibu coming to you live from the underground bunker deep beneath hot and humid Tuktoyaktuk, where we're going to play the Texas Championship Series between the 1980 Texas Rangers, the 9th seed, and the 1981 Texas Rangers, the number 2 seed. All 20 seasons between 1980 and 1999, Texas Rangers have battled it out, and these are the two top teams, 1980 and 1981. For you extreme old-timers, that creates a happy feeling in your heart to know that the two best teams are 1980 and 1981, the oldest teams possible in this March Madness Texas Rangers Championship Tournament. And we are here in Tuktoyaktuk. It is 86 degrees today. Beautiful day outside. And here I am inside making a video. But hey, that's a sacrifice I must make. And there's news that our blessed Premier Smith, who just announced that she is going to investigate 175 of the fires that have no idea how they started. She's going to get outside the province investigators to investigate those fires. So she's the one premier, maybe the premier of Saskatchewan, that are level-headed, I would say. Politicians in Canada, and they follow reality. So Alberta is very much the Texas of Canada. So it's good to see our newly re-elected Premier Danielle Smith pursue the real science. What caused all these fires? And for those who are asking, I live in the desert, so there are no trees anywhere near me. So there's no fear of King Ikibu being burned, his house being burned. So that's good if you're worried about that. But thank you for asking. Anyway, we are going to play this tournament championship game. It's a best-of-3 series. This is game 1. Between the 9th seed, 1980, and the 1981 second seed. How did the 1980s get here? They've had a tournament record of 6-1. In real life, they were 76-85. However, they were very unlucky because their Pythagorean win-loss percentage was .502, which is 9th best in the tournament. In the best of the 80s replay, I think I played this season back in 2015 to 2016. They were 4th place with a 79-84 record and 13 games back of, what team was that? What team would that? Oh, Minnesota Twins won the division and the World Series in 1980 in the replay. How did they get here? They defeated the 1991 Rangers, who were the 8th seed. They swept them 2 straight. Then in the Elite 8, they played the 1994 Rangers, who were the 17th seed, and they beat them 2-1. The only game they lost in this tournament so far was in that series, Game 2. They lost in 11 innings, 4-3. That's the only game they've lost. In the Final Four, they defeated the 1998 Rangers, who were the 5th seed, and swept them 2 straight by scores of 5-3 and 2-1. The leading hitter for the 1980s is Richie Zisk, who's 12 for 28, 429, 448, 679. He has 2 homers and I think only 3 RBIs, but he's still a leading hitter for the 80s in this tournament. For the second seeded 1981, who had a Pythagorean win-loss percentage of .568 in 1981. Their real record was 57-48. In the 80s replay, they finished 3rd, 15 games back of... What team would that have been? Oh, I'd have to look. I forget. I can look up quickly. It's the 81. Here we go. Standings. Got it at my fingertip. Who they finished behind Oakland. I can bring you the 1981 season. So they finished... behind Oakland. There were 98-64. Chicago 11.5, and then Texas 82-78. So in the tournament record, they're 6-2 so far. How they got here? They defeated 1988, the 18th seed, 2-1. Then in the Elite 8, they defeated the 7th seeded 1986, 2 straight. And then in the Final Four, they defeated the 14 seeded 1995, 2-1. And this last game we saw on YouTube last time. Their leading hitter was Billy Sample coming in, but Buddy Bell had an awesome Final Four, and he propelled himself to the top of the 1981 leaderboard. He's now 8 out of 18, 344, 417, 531 with 2 homers and 10 RBIs. He's driven a lot of runs. You can see that the starting pitchers in this series, we start with Jon Matlack for the 1980s, Doc Medich, and then Ferguson Jenkins for the 1981 team. Danny Darwin starts it off, Doc Medich. So game 2 is going to be Doc Medich versus Doc Medich. And then game 3, Rick Honeycutt. So today's starting pitchers, Jon Matlack will start for the 80s. And he has a record in this tournament of 3-0, 281. If he wins today, he is definitely a candidate for MVP of this tournament. He definitely would be the Cy Young. Well, I don't call it Cy Young. I call it the Koufax Award in honor of perhaps the greatest pitcher of, well, he's a little bit before my time, but in the last 50 years, Sandy Koufax. And he would win the Texas Koufax Award with a 4-0 record. Most definitely if he wins today. In real life, he was 10-10 with a 368. And in the replay, he was 14-12 with a 421. He will face Danny Darwin, who's 2-0, 270. In real life, he was 9-9, 364. In the replay, he was 14-13, 289. Let's get to our starting lineups. For first, the 1980s, the 9th seed. Leading off, playing second base is Bump Wills. Batting second, the center fielder Mickey Rivers. Batting third, third baseman Buddy Bell. Batting fourth, the right fielder Al Oliver. Batting fifth, the designated hitter and leading hitter of the 80s, Richie Zisk. Batting sixth, the first baseman Rusty Staub. Batting seventh, the left fielder John Grubb. Batting eighth, the catcher, Jim Sundberg, and batting ninth, the shortstop, Buddy Harrelson. And of course, on the mound, as we said before, is Jon Matlack. For the 81s, leading off and playing center field is Mickey Rivers, batting second. The right fielder, Billy Sample, batting third. Third baseman, Buddy Bell, batting fourth. The designated hitter, Al Oliver, batting fifth. Left fielder, Leon Roberts, batting sixth. The first baseman, Pat Putnam, batting seventh. Catcher, Jim Sundberg, batting eighth. The second baseman, Bump Wills, and batting ninth, the shortstop, Mario Mendoza. And as we said, on the mound, Danny Darwin. You can see the difference in the two teams, only 1 year apart. 1980s have Richie Zisk and Rusty Staub in the middle of their lineup, while the Texas Rangers of 81 have Billy Sample instead of Johnny Grubb, and they have Al Oliver at the DH, and they have Leon Roberts and Pat Putnam in the 5th and 6th spots of the lineup, and Mario Mendoza instead of Buddy Harrelson at shortstop. So let's get this one underway. And we have Danny Darwin on the mound. He's 2-0, 270 against Bump Wills. He's batting .333, has no walks, has a homer and 1 RBI. Does he have any stolen bases? He has 4 stolen bases, has not been caught in the tournament. And we're going to roll it, and he flies out to left field. Mickey Rivers batting .200 with 1 homer and 1 RBI. And he has a strike. 1 strike and no balls to Mickey Rivers. And he flies out to right. Here's Buddy Bell batting .259. This is the 80s version of Buddy Bell. He has more homers than 81 version with 3. Has just a couple RBI short, but he's only batting .259. He has a higher slugging percentage of .667. They're both very good. They're both leading their teams very well in this tournament. Here's Buddy Bell with 2 out. And we have a possible error. Have to roll, 56, no error. So Danny Darwin gets through the first inning unscathed. Here's Jon Matlack, 3-0, 281. To face Mickey Rivers, who's batting .206 with a homer, no homers, and 1 RBI. And he gets on with a single. Should we try to steal? No. Next batter is Billy Sample. He was the leading hitter going into the Final Four, but he didn't have a very good Final Four, so he dropped to .313 with no homers and 3 RBIs. And Mickey Rivers is on first. Here's the pitch to Billy Sample. He gets hit by the pitch. That's the way to get on. Take one for the team. 2 men on for the 81s, the number 2 seed. Jon Matlack is probably in trouble for one of the first times in this tournament. Here's Buddy Bell, who destroyed 1995 pitching in the Final Four. He's batting .344 with 2 homers, 10 RBIs. Nobody out. Trouble for Matlack. Here's the pitch. And there's a possible error. Soft line drive to the second baseman, Bump Wills, and the first out of the inning. Here's Al Oliver batting .303 with no homers, 7 RBIs. Double play ball. So Matlack gets out of the jam, and through 1 inning, it's scoreless. Here's 1980s Al Oliver, .385, .440, .484, .577. So you know Richie Zisk is having a good tournament if Al Oliver isn't the leading hitter with those numbers. Lots of production from the 3, 4, and 5 section spots in the 80s lineup, which is why they're here in the championship. Here's the pitch to Oliver. Flies out to right. Richie Zisk, .429, 2 homers, 3 RBIs, .679 slugging percentage. His last season in Texas. He was there a long time in the 70s. And he hits a double. We'll put the brakes on Richie Zisk. Here's Rusty Staub, his last season in Texas. He's batting .292 with a homer and 7 RBIs in the tournament. He gets double twos, re-rolls, so he has homers here. 11, 15, 22 is a homer, 33. He even has a triple here on 25. Can you imagine Rusty Staub, the slowest man in baseball, probably could be in history, hitting a triple? If he rolls at 25, he will. 35 he rolls. That's going to be a double. And it scores the first run. The 1980s are up 1-0 thanks to Rusty Staub and Richie Zisk. They've been doing it all tournament. Here's Johnny Grubb. We'll put the brakes on the slowest man in baseball. Oops, did it wrong. I took him off. Here, we checked it. Johnny Grubb batting .250. He doesn't have an RBI, doesn't have a home run yet. He has a .379 on base percentage, however. And he does his job. He gets his man over, though there's 2 outs, so it doesn't mean as much. He's on third base. Wild pitch, pass ball could score a run. Here's Jim Sundberg. He's batting .296 with 2 homers, 10 RBIs. When I thought of this tournament coming in, I thought, boy, those 90s teams have some incredible hitters. They have Ruben Sierra. They have Juan Gonzalez. They got Rafael Palmeiro. They got Pudge Rodriguez. They got Rusty Greer. One after another. Will Clark. But it's these two, this early 80s team that's doing all the hitting. Especially the 80 and 81, they nullified those guys. I just did, I always do summaries of the top hitters on each, for the top 3 hitters. And Juan Gonzalez was not pathetic. I won't say go that far, but he really had his struggles in this tournament. So did Will Clark. Palmeiro didn't do anything. The 80s pitchers nullified them. And while their hitters were not nullified. Here they have a man on third with 2 outs. Sundberg. He's been great. The 80 and 81 Sundberg are tremendous. Have tremendous tournaments. And he strikes out this time since I built him up so much. So after 1.5, the score, 1981, nothing. Here is Leon Roberts. .313, homer and 5 RBIs. And then let's see, he gets a foul ball. He gets another roll. And he falls out. Pat Putnam. He's batting .161 with a homer and 3 RBIs. And he has a chance at an error. Doesn't get the error. Flies out. Sundberg batting .292. .414 on base. And he flies out. After 2 complete. 1-0 1980. Here's Buddy Harrelson. .250. He even has a home run. 4 RBIs. Has a .357 on base. Grounds out. Bump Wills. He is 0 for 1 with a flyout. Gets double sixes. There's a few homers here, not many. Bump Wills was not a home run hitter. He has 11, 33, and 66. Rolls a 33. You know what that means? It's gone. Bump Wills hits his first homer of the tournament. Second RBI, and the 1980s are up 2-0. Here is Mickey Rivers. He has a homer in this tournament. Grounds out this time. Buddy Bell. He flied out last time. Gets a single. Can he steal? He can try. 42 doesn't get the jump. Al Oliver, 370. He flied out last time. And he flies out again, this time to the center fielder. So after 2.5, it's 2-0 1980. Here's Bump Wills. His first time, has 2 homers. So 1980, Bump Wills has a homer in this game, and 1981, Bump Wills has 2 homers and 7 RBIs. And he walks. He's going to try to steal. Nope. He's losing his... this Wills, yes, he's a good base stealer. But the next year, he was not. And here's the Mendoza line. It's now 385, which is... he has a career batting average of 200. What is his career batting average? Let's see. I'm going to look over here. I don't want to take so much time, but this. What is his career batting average? Mendoza. Mario Mendoza. 1974 to 1982. His career batting average was 215. 215, and in 1981 it was 231. So in 1982 it was 118. 1979 is 198, 1977 198, 1976 185, 1975 180. So he had 3 years of under 200 in a row, and then he was up above 500 or above 200 one time in 78, then went back under. By that time he had his reputation of the Mendoza line. Then he had a couple decent years, 80 and 81. 80s with Seattle, 81 with Texas, and then 82 was his final season. He batted 118. Here's Wills on first, Mendoza. He hits into a double play. And here's Mickey Rivers. He ground to first last time, and he flies out. So through 3 complete, it's 1982 and 1981, nothing. Zisk hit a double and scored. Hits another double. Put the brakes on Zisk. He just keeps hitting. Here's Rusty Staub. He drove in Zisk last time. This time he won't double. He will foul out. Here's Johnny Grubb. He ground to the pitcher first time up. Pop fly to shortstop. This time 2 out for Sundberg. And he flied out to end the threat and the inning. Matlack is now a D. He has to pitch 2 innings at the level D. He's done it before. He's got 3 wins in his 3 starts, and he's always had to pitch the 4th and 5th innings at a D. So can he do it again? He has to keep his team in this ball game. No, he's a leader. Yeah, he's going for his 4th. No, he's ahead. So he's got to pitch until he gives up a run, this man. Even though he doesn't have the best ratings in the world. He has the Y and Z. Well, I guess the I is the best rating for a pitcher to have. It pretty much makes it extremely hard to hit home runs off of him. But the Z is wonderful. It takes those walks away so many times. Although he has walked 10 batters in 19 innings. So it hasn't worked great for him, and yet he's only given up 13 hits. He's getting up a hit there. Billy Sample's going to try to steal. He steals second base. And he's a fast runner. So the 81s really have a threat here in the 4th inning. Here's Buddy Bell. And he singles, of course he does. He's on fire. And it's now 2-1, 1980 over 81. And Buddy Bell, will he try to steal? Nope. So we'll put the brakes on Buddy Bell with those slow wheels of his. Here's Al Oliver. He hit into a double play last time. We should try hit and run. Stay out of the double play this time. He singles, but runner on first out at third. So he tries to go to third on the hit and run, and he gets thrown out by Al Oliver in right. So Al Oliver hits the ball to Al Oliver, who throws out Buddy Bell on the hit and run. And it's 1 out and Al Oliver at first. Here's Leon Roberts. He flied out last time. And he grounds out, but Al Oliver goes into scoring position. So Pat Putnam needs a hit so that they'll tie this ball game. And there's a possible error. It's error on Buddy Harrelson. Keeps the inning alive. First and third for Jim Sundberg. He flied out to center field last time up. And he walks. Bases loaded now for Bump Wills. He has driven in 7 runs, and he's looking for more. Here's the pitch. Flies out to left field to end the inning. So after 4 complete, it's the 80s 2 and the 81s 1. Here's Danny Darwin's. Well, he's a better pitcher. He can go longer. But this is his last mandatory inning. Buddy Harrelson is up. He made the error. Did it cost? No, it didn't result in an unearned run. But he did make an error last inning. Did not result in a run. Flies out. Here's Bump Wills. 3rd time up. Last time he homered. This time he grounds out to short. To Mendoza for the 2nd out. And here's Mickey Rivers. He flies out. Bottom of the 5th. This is Matlack's last inning. Mendoza. He flies out. Rivers. Grounds out. Billy Sample. So Matlack will leave the game with a lead. And he's going for 4-0. Though it's only a 1-run lead at this point. Here's Buddy Bell. He's flied out and he's singled. 1 for 2. Flies out again. Here's Al Oliver. Strikes out. Richie Zisk. Strikes out. And now that's it for Matlack. He's coming out of the game. And he has... Okay, Medic is tomorrow's pitcher. Got Jim Kern, who was their closer for a lot of years. John Henry Johnson, who's very good. Fergie Jenkins is the Game 3 pitcher. Charlie Huff is in relief. Ed Figueroa, he is bad. Danny Darwin, he's very good. I think he's the closer. Let's see if I'm right. 81, well, 80, 1980. Let's see. Previous. Their closer is Danny Darwin. Yes, he's the closer of this team. Steve Comer, he's not very good. Ken Clay, he's all right. John Butcher is good. And that's it. So what I like to do is get the horrible pitcher out of the way. Although we got the heart of the lineup here. So we'll get Ken Clay will come into the game. Ken Clay, let's see what he's done so far. He's 0-0, 0-0. 4 innings, scoreless. Had a great tournament so far. Here's his 3rd appearance. He pitched against 91s, pitched 2 innings, gave up nothing. And then against the 94s, he pitched 2 innings, gave up 2 hits, 1 walk, and struck out 2 in both appearances, gave up no runs. Let's see if he can do the same and hold the lead for Jon Matlack. Here's Buddy Bell. He is singled and drove in a run and popped out to the second baseman. Here's a pitch. Ground out again to the second baseman. Here's Al Oliver. He's hit into a double play and singled. Grounded out again. Clay is down to a C. Leon Roberts, 0 for 2. He struck out. So Clay has continued on his great tournament with his 5th scoreless inning. Darwin's still good to go. Here's Rusty Staub. He's doubled and driven in a run, and he's popped out to the third baseman. And he's got double ones. He's got a home run at 11, 15, 22. He has a triple. We've talked about this before, 25. 61. That is a double for Rusty Staub to lead off the 7th inning. Put all restrictions on Staub. In fact, we possibly could pinch run for him. Although John Ellis, his replacement, is slow as well. Jim Norris can play first base. He's fast. Can't hit. Pat Putnam, he's slow. They have so many first basemen on this team. He can play. Dave Roberts can play first base as well, but he can play everywhere. And Billy Sample can't. So we could put in Norris. Though you take out his bat out of this lineup, we might need it. He's got a much superior bat to all those guys. So you're going to stay in the game. You just tell him not to take any chances. Johnny Grubb. Let's see. Yeah, he's a good hitter. We'll keep him in the game. Thing about the 80s, their bench is better just to leave the starters in for the most part. Here's the pitch to Johnny Grubb. He's 0 for 2. And he strikes out. Jim Sundberg, he is 0 for 2. Grounds out to the shortstop. Staub has no chance to advance. So we are going to remove. We're going to say, hey, on a single, you can try. You can try to score, Rusty, but don't steal any bases. So we'll leave that one on. Here's Buddy Harrelson. And strikeout stands as ball not put into play, so the strikeout ends the inning. Danny Darwin has pitched well, but he's a loser right now. And it's 2-1 still. The 80s lead the 81s. Ken Clay is still going strong. Okay, Putnam. Is there anybody who's on the bench here? You got Johnny Grubb. He's fast, but he can't play any defense. Bobby Jones. I love that guy when he played for the Sixers and the Denver Nuggets. He was probably my first favorite basketball player. And here he is playing for the Rangers in 19 and... Is this 81 or 80 that I'm looking at? That's the thing. It's confusing. This is the one with samples, so it's 81. Of course, it's not the same Bobby Jones. I know that. And he's got power, but he doesn't get on base, and he's slow. But he has a great arm in the outfield. There's Tom Paquette. He can't play defense, and he can't hit. And, of course, we talked about Bill Stein before. He's good. He'll probably play for Mendoza as we get down there to the Mendoza line. He's 0 for 2, so we'll take him out. And Mark Wagner, he's decent too. He also plays shortstop, and he's fast. So we got some pieces there to work with to try to get back this game even. But we'll leave Putnam in to face Ken Clay. He has WW, which means he walks a lot of guys, but it hasn't hurt him yet in this tournament. And he grounds out to the pitcher. Good play by Clay to throw him out. There's Sundberg. He's walked and he's flied out. He struck him out. Clay! He is like the old Cassius Clay of Kentucky in the old days, who Cassius Clay is responsible more than any other man in United States history for eliminating slavery. And he's pitching on the mound equally effectively here. Here's Bump Wills. Grounded out to end the 7th inning. It's still 2-1, anybody's ball game, but the 80s are ahead. Danny Darwin's still good to go. He's pitched 30 innings in this tournament, 2.67 ERA, 0-2, but he's behind in the 8th inning. Okay, Bump Wills doesn't pay. He's got that 9 defense. We don't want to take that out. We need the defense. Grounds out to first baseman Putnam, who makes the play himself. Waves off Darwin, says, hold it there, I've got it myself. For the first out. Here's Mickey Rivers. He's a good hitter. We're not taking him out. But just can't get any. These pitchers are dominating, just like they have all tournament. And here's Buddy Bell. He is 1 for 3. He flies out. So after 7.5, the 80s are up 2-1. Should we keep Clay in? He's doing such a great job. Okay, we said we're going to bring in Stein, or should we bring in Wagner? We're going to bring in Wagner. We can leave Stein. He's plays so many positions. So we can put Wagner in for Mendoza. He's still a good ball player. He had his first appearance in this tournament. He's going to try to get the first base runner off Clay, who's been just dominating. Ground out to Clay for the first out here in the 8th. He's pitched 2 1/3 innings. Here's Mickey Rivers. Struck him out. The amazing Clay. Here is Billy Sample. He's going to try to make it 9 up, 9 down for Clay. No, it's double threes. So this could tie the ball game with an 11, 22, 33, or 66. No, 44 as well. It's 45. It's a double. And that's it for Clay. He's coming out of the game. We appreciate your effort, but it's time to bring someone else in and not Figueroa. See, that's a temptation. Oh, bring in Figueroa. Let's 2 out. Let's get rid of him. Because we have to pitch all the pitchers before we can pitch him the second time, except for the closer. But we're in the 8th. We're not going to bring one of the best guys. I'm even tempted about Comer, but he has one batter at a C, and then he drops to a D. The problem is, if he doesn't get him out, then he's got to pitch to 3. So we can't risk that. We could bring in the closer now, Darwin. It could be Darwin versus Darwin. That's tempting. Okay, we'll do that. Bring in Danny Darwin. Danny Darwin's 0-1, 386. He has 4 saves in this tournament and blew one of them. So 4 saves and 5 opportunities. This is his 6th appearance of the tournament. He struggled early, but in the last 3 games, he's been awesome. So Danny Darwin versus Danny Darwin. This is Danny Darwin, the closer of 1980. Will face Buddy Bell. Buddy Bell is 1 for 3. Here's the pitch of the ball game with Billy Sample, a fast runner at second base. There's no way they're going to throw him out with 2 out. Here's the pitch to Buddy Bell. It hit him. It hit him. He's on second. You're going to put the brakes on Bell. We say, though, if it's a double, try to score the go-ahead run. It's Al Oliver. Al Oliver hit into a double play. He singled and ground to short. Here's the pitch to Oliver. Flied out to end the inning. Darwin does his job. Okay, so this Darwin, the starter Darwin, goes down to D. So now the 81s, we talked about this last time, have an incredible bullpen. They're down by 1. Comer is the closer in this case. Honeycutt's the third starter. Charlie Huff. Fergie is bad. Okay, we're in the middle of the lineup of the 80s, so we're not going to bring in Fergie. We'll bring in John Henry Johnson. John Henry Johnson, he's 0-0-0-0. He's only had 1 appearance. That was in the last game, Game 3. And he's going to, here in this championship series, he's going to try to keep the 81s in the game. He'll be facing Oliver, Zisk, and Staub. The heart of the lineup. Here's Oliver. He's 0 for 3 today. He flied out twice. 1 to right, 1 at center, and struck out. He is due. Still batting .345 in the tournament. And he grounds out to the shortstop for out number 1. Here's Richie Zisk. He's doubled twice and struck out. Batting .452 in the tournament. And he has a single. Okay, so that's it for Zisk. We need a runner. We need someone who's fast. We got Jim Norris. It'd be nice if he can steal bases too. Okay, Jim Norris, you're coming in to run for Zisk. We give a hand to Zisk. He's been incredible. Okay, Jim Norris. He doesn't really have much of a... We're not going to risk it. It's like... he has lots of chances to get thrown out. 3 of them. He has 5 chances of... Is it 5? Okay, he's got 6 chances of stealing and 3 chances of getting thrown out. That just isn't right. We'll leave him at first. He's fast. Here's Rusty Staub. Staub is 2 for 3 with 2 doubles as well. Batting .333. And he grounds out. Runner on first. Goes to second. Is that because of his fast running? No, just natural. But he's in scoring position now for Johnny Grubb. Grubb is 0 for 3. They would really love to have insurance run here. Here's the pitch to Johnny Grubb. And he pops out. So we go to the bottom of the 9th. The score, 1980s. The 1980s, 2, and the 1981s, 1. Danny Darwin has to close it. He's going to face Leon Roberts, Pat Putnam, and Jim Sundberg. Now, question to me is Putnam. He's got a .304. He does have a .418 slugging, but .304 might be worth putting in Stein. But Roberts definitely with his .345, he will be the leadoff hitter. He's not fast, but he's not slow. He's in between. Here's the pitch. The key leadoff hitter. They want to get this guy on. It's changed. Could be an error. No, it's just a strike. 1 ball, no balls, and 1 strike to Leon Roberts. Double 2s. The tying run is here. 11, 22, 33, 44, 66. 55 is a triple. So he wants doubles here. But he'll live with a double, a 6. There's a lot of 6s on here. He doesn't want to get a single only. 12. That is a single only. He's on. Can he steal? No, he can't. Do they have somebody who can run? That's not Grubb. I'm going the wrong way. Here, it's Roberts down here. Roberts got Stein. He's fast, but I want to save him. I want him to bat. He's a superior hitter to Putnam, and he does play first base. We got Poquette, he's slow. Bobby Jones, who's slow. Johnny Grubb, he's fast. Does he steal bases? Let's see his card. He doesn't steal bases, but he's fast. Roberts isn't slow, so I don't know if it's worth it. It'd be nice to have someone fast. Okay, Johnny Grubb, you're coming in. Johnny Grubb is going to run for Leon Roberts. Here's Putnam. No, we're going to bring in Stein. Right here, Stein. You're going to play first base. He's batting .500 in the tournament. Don't hit into a double play. Here's the pitch. He struck him out. Darwin's down to a C, but a key strikeout in this situation. Here's Sundberg. He is 0 for 2 with a walk. Here's the pitch to Sundberg. He singles to third. See, there's the advantage of the fast runner. If we would have left in the theologian Leon Roberts, he would only be at second base. But because we have Grubb, he's on third base. The tying runs at third with Bump Wills. He's not a great hitter. No, Stein is already used. So we got to use Bump Wills. I think the good thing about Wills is he doesn't hit into a lot of double plays. Let me check that. How many double plays did he hit into in the replay? Bump Wills hit into 16 double plays, but in 723 plate appearances. So it's not a, yeah, he has some history of double plays. That would be the worst thing for the 81s. The best thing for Darwin. The double X's means he strikes out a lot. That's what we need as well. If you're from the 80s, if you're cheering for the 80s, you want a strikeout. He's got that. He's also got the H, which is voodoo, which is the second best voodoo. Will take a lot of balls headed for the seats and bring them back into play. So here's the pitch to Bump Wills. He's a fast runner as well. Here's Wills. He hits into a double play and the game is over. And Danny Darwin saves it for Jon Matlack. His 4th win of the tournament. He is on pace to being the Koufax winner. I think he is a Koufax winner. I don't know what Medic has done for 81s. We'll have to check that. But Danny Darwin saves the game for Matlack. And the 1981s, a 9th seed, win game 1. They are now 7-1 in this tournament by a score of 2-1. Let's see who is the player of the game. Will it be Ken Clay? Ken Clay, Richie Zisk. He got on. He was the guy that got on in the 9th inning. I guess to try to get that insurance run. But he scored a run. He got 2 doubles. Bump Wills scored the other run. I don't know. You can say in the comments, do you think Ken Clay or do you think Richie Zisk will be the player of the game? It's very close. But anyway, the 1980s win game 1. They take a 1-0 lead in this tournament. All they need is 1 win in either games 2 or 3, and they will be the champions of the Texas Rangers in the last part of the last millennium, last 20 years of the last millennium in this madness tournament. Hope you enjoyed today's ball game. Texas Ranger fans, once again, the final score, 1982, 2 runs, 7 hits and 1 error, and the 1981's a second seed, 1 run, 7 hits and no errors. We'll catch you next time. Goodbye, everybody.